side, gets a block down the sideline, end zone, touchdown!
Colorado upsets 13th-ranked Penn State.
Center left foot shot off the post. It's hanging on the line. Goal for the Buffaloes.
Blitz coming. Spain in trouble. The ball's loose. Scooped up by Colorado, and a big man running all the way in.
10 shots and 10 total turnovers so far. And there's 2 for Haley Smith. That's 6 and 1 right now. And make it 9 for Kennedy. Shot clock at 4. And a 3 good for Haley Smith. And that'll do it. Jackrabbits great comeback to get it to overtime. But Colorado by 6.
Hi, again, and welcome to the Buffalo Stampede. I'm Mark Johnson of KOA Radio. The postseason continues for JR Payne and the CU women. They're on to the Sweet 16 of the WNIT, wins over UNLV and South Dakota State. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a great couple weeks for us.
Let's kind of go back. We haven't had a chance here on the show to talk about the first game of the tournament, the victory over UNLV. Give us a recap of that one.
Well, it wasn't the prettiest game we've ever been a part of, but both teams just came out. You know, after you don't play for 2 weeks, you're a little bit sluggish early.
Sure.
And both teams were, but the second half was phenomenal, and we ended up rebounding well. We scored the ball well. We defended well. It was a good game.
You knew you were going to be in the postseason in some form or fashion. What did you do over the course of the 2 weeks?
Well, we gave the players some time off. You know, they took about 5 days off completely, caught up on schoolwork, things like that. We did a couple days of just light conditioning, and then had, maybe 4 or 5 days of practice before we played.
All right. Well, Kennedy Leonard has been big all season long. She had 23 points and 5 assists in that ball.
She did. Yeah, Kennedy's been, she's been basically our rock most of the year, been really consistent, and was no different that night.
Do you take her for granted at times, do you think?
I don't think so. I really
try
not to. I try not to. She's played a lot of minutes, and her body has got to start to fatigue, although she certainly doesn't show it.
Now take us to the South Dakota State game, 81-75, but you had to go to overtime to get the win over the Jackrabbits.
We did. It was one of the biggest game of runs I'd ever been a part of. We started out hot, then they went on a big run. We got down, I think, 12 in the first quarter, came back within 1 right before halftime. We were up 13 points in the fourth quarter. They came back and tied it. It was just an incredible, it was a roller coaster of a game. Incredible environment, 3,000-4,000 people right on top of you. Incredibly loud, just an awesome environment and a great win.
Yeah, the Buffs had to play shorthanded. You were down a player in that game.
We were, yeah, one of our best players, and someone that's played a lot of minutes and a really important factor for us. But different people stepped up. Quinessa started in Lexi's place and played almost 40 minutes. Just incredible defense on one of their best players, and it was big for everybody.
Now, maybe South Dakota State, being from that part of the country, maybe that region doesn't get as much respect as it should. It's been an awful good program, and they were great at home this season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people that really know women's basketball know South Dakota State. They have one of the highest winning percentages at home in the country, for the last 15 years. As soon as the buzzer sounded, I just kept saying, they don't lose here. Like, no one wins here.
Right.
How did this happen? No one wins here. And so it made it even sweeter for all of us.
You didn't come out of the blocks real strong. You shot very poorly early on in that game, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. And in UNLV game, I saw somebody said, the first quarter we shot 21% both games. And since then, we've shot 60%. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we need to, goose them or something before the game starts. But second part was much better.
Give your halftime speech before the game, maybe.
Yes,
yeah,
I like your thinking. Yes.
And then they're warmed up, ready to go already. Well, the Buffaloes go on the road now in the WNIT. They've got a game on Thursday night. You've got to go to Big Ten country to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, and they're great. I mean, someone asked me about them right after our game, and I said, I don't know anything about them, but if they're still playing, they're good.
Sure.
And by now, I know that they're good. They've got great interior play, great guard play. They're big, they're long, they're physical, they shoot the ball. It's a great challenge.
It's interesting this time of year on Radio Tip, we're talking a lot about the NCAA tournament, obviously, and the NIT and the WNIT. I said the exact same thing to folks. If you're still playing this time of year, even if you're not in the big dance, right, you're still a good basketball team.
Oh, absolutely. The opportunity. I mean, there's a lot of teams in the U.S. right now that are not playing.
Sure.
They don't get to practice today, and we do. So for our young team to have the experience of postseason play, postseason victory, is so good for our kids and our program.
Well, and you kind of stole my thunder there. I was going to ask you about the value of this for you guys playing this deep, getting all those extra games and practices.
Oh, it's great. Especially the fact that we're young young. We have some important factors that are young players. To have this, to go into next season, understanding what it takes to win, to get to postseason, understanding what it takes to win in the postseason is all invaluable for us.
How about the idea of recruiting? Does this help in that regard too?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, we're still playing, and everybody wants to play postseason, and so it's good for our incoming players to see as well.
Give us a bit of a scouting report on Iowa.
Well, like I said, they're big. Their best inside presence. Gustafson is her name. She's a sophomore. Last game, she went, I think, 15 for 16 from the floor. So 33 points, 15 rebounds.
Wow.
And she's good, and their perimeter play is very experienced. They have some seniors that have been around. They shoot the ball well. Like I said, they're really long on the perimeter, and they turn people over like us. So it should be a very up-tempo, aggressive style game.
And you expect to have Lexi back from the ankle injury?
I don't know. We're certainly hoping to,
anytime
that she can play, we're going to be happy to have her.
Well, good luck at Iowa City.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's JR Payne. The CU women play in Iowa in the Sweet 16 of the WNIT. If they get a win there, there's a very good chance they'll be right back here at the Coors Event Center for the next round of the WNIT. Let's take a time out here in the Stampede. When we come back, we're talking lacrosse. Undefeated, fourth ranked in the country. Carly Cox is going to join us next. Great images from the Buffs win over the Oregon Ducks inside the IPF, playing inside. So, about lacrosse. Hey, Carly Cox joining us. Buffs ranked number 4 in the country right now. Been fantastic so far this year. Well, that was kind of a unique experience, wasn't it? Playing inside the IPF?
Yeah, definitely a little bit different. We've practiced in there a few times, but it was exciting to get to play in that facility.
Does it, and by the way, in case you don't know, they're playing inside because of the fire, the sunshine fire that was going on up in the foothills, that forced everything inside. Does it constrict anything? Does it change anything from a game standpoint?
Not really. The only difference with the field is it's a little bit shorter width-wise, but other than that, it was basically a regular field.
Buffalo's, like I said, ranked number 4 in the country. Perfect, unblemished record right now. What's going on with you guys? You're playing fantastic. Talk about this season. It has to be a lot of fun for you.
Oh, it's exciting. It's so much fun to be a part of. Just having all those seniors and the experience that we've had with them kind of throughout the 4 years, it's, the leadership and everything, it's really coming together. It's exciting.
Now, she's from the East Coast. Carly, you're from Long Island, right?
Yes.
So, okay, in the New York metro area. Yeah, and when you think about lacrosse and how big it is on the eastern seaboard, you had to jump over a lot of schools to come out west here. How'd that happen?
Yeah, well, during the whole recruiting process, I really wanted to stay East Coast, kind of close to home. But once I came out here to visit, it's pretty hard to pass up. So
it's not bad out here in Colorado. Now, what was the selling point, though, when you're talking about coming to a program that's brand new? Now, you're a junior. This program's been around for 4 years, so it's a brand new program. There was no history to sell. They were selling a vision, I'm guessing. What was the appeal?
Yeah, definitely the vision that they were selling. The coaching staff and the vision that they had for the school, just the belief that I had in them, and I was really just all about the coaching staff, really excited for it.
Just blown away by all
that.
How about the institution? What did you know about Colorado prior to coming out here?
I really didn't know much about it. Like you said, I'm from the East Coast, so Western schools I'm not really that big on, but once you got out here, the location and the environment around it's just unbelievable.
Mountains are kind of cool.
Oh, they're amazing.
They don't have those in Long Island.
Definitely not.
How about the way you guys have been playing, though? To turn this thing around from, the basement, if you will, and building this program to where you are right now. What does that say about the coaching staff and the group of players you got in this team?
It's amazing. It's an all-around team effort, I would say, from coaching staff down to every girl on the team. It's just the hard work every day and really trying to get better every day.
What is the strength of this team?
There's so many. I think our depth, you can see game to game, there's different girls coming out and having career highs or putting up these crazy numbers. And I think that makes us a really tough team to guard. Yeah. And I think that's probably one of our strengths.
Now, I have to think, when you think of Colorado, it's a new program as we talk about. It's not like you're one of the traditional favorites in this sport. Teams, I think, maybe initially were overlooking you guys. They can't do that anymore because you're beating everybody.
Yeah, definitely not. I think we're starting to make a bit of a statement, which is exciting.
Yeah. What was the key in that victory against the Ducks? And you got shot them pretty heavily, correct?
Yeah. I just think playing together mostly. Mm-hmm. We knew that they were going to be a tough team going to come out, especially with the history that we've had. We've been playing so well. Everyone's going to try to come out and beat us. So just kind of focusing on ourselves and really getting after it.
The Buffs have 16 seniors on this team. We talked here in the program before. It's the first senior class, obviously, in the history of the program. Having that many upperclassmen on the squad from a leadership standpoint, I'd imagine that's a great foundation for a team to have.
Absolutely. All the seniors they're just amazing with anything. Academics, athletics, they're always there for you. The leadership it's just awesome.
Does success build upon success? The better you guys play, the more victories you stack up, the more you believe in yourselves.
I think so. I think it all kind of comes together. Definitely.
Can this team compete compete for a national championship?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. It's crazy to think about, but it's a lot of fun. We're going to take it day by day, but it's fun to think about.
We would have had a problem if she would have said that. Ann Elliott would have been right here wondering what you're talking about. What are you studying here in Colorado?
Advertising. Communication, yeah.
All right. Well, good luck for the Buffaloes. I know you got a game coming up with Fresno this week.
Yeah, another conference game.
Yeah, that one's expected to be outside. I don't think we're having issues with the air quality. Another big matchup, though?
Yeah, definitely. We focus a lot on our conference games and just trying to get better within the conference. So.
All right. Are you looking forward now? You're going to have an opportunity to do this, to transition to the Pac-12 next year.
Yeah, really exciting. I think it's a great thing for the sport of lacrosse in general to get like a big-time conference thing, but I think it'll be awesome.
This sport really is growing out here out west, isn't it?
Huge.
I mean, like we talked about, out east, it's enormous, and some of the powers in this sport are out in Eastern, but you've got DU down the road, what Colorado is doing, what the Pac-12 is doing. This is really starting to blossom out here in the western part of the country.
Yeah, it's really cool to see how much it's moving and how fast it's moving.
Yeah, it's a fast-moving sport, exciting sport. Congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
All right, Carly Cox from the undefeated CU women's lacrosse team. They've got that match coming up this weekend with Fresno. As we continue, we're going to talk football. Two-time captain George Frazier is going to join us next year in the Stampede.
We're at Broomfield Fish in Broomfield, Colorado, local nonprofit organization. What we're doing today is helping stock some shelves, break down some beans and rice, and sort some food that we distribute to our families. We have a number of families that for one reason or the other are unable to make some ends meet, and what we're doing is helping provide food on the table for them. Most of our families have children, and a lot of these children are going to school hungry, so what we're trying to do is make sure that the families are fed and help do what we can to make their days a little bit better. We love having the CU football team here. It means the world to us to have them helping out in the community. I like to tell the guys every year that seeing them help out the community and doing all these wonderful things means a lot to us. It's just awesome to see them come in here, smiles on their faces, and just eager to do whatever they can to help out.
Sorting and arranging these foods, checking the expiration dates, and then packing them up over here, and then we're sending it straight to the shelves. I mean, they only have 3 employees, and this is huge. I mean, you're helping families every day, and having us here is just kind of moving the process along, and I mean, it's huge for us because we just like to give back to the community. The community comes to us every day. I mean, there's kids that they were talking about that come in here that love the Buffaloes, and these kids aren't eating every day, so it's important that we come back here, and we're not only entertaining them on TV, but actually giving something back to them as far as we can help in their lives.
That's a great shot of the Buffs giving back in the community here in the Boulder area. Hi again, welcome back into Stampede. One of the captains for the Buffaloes in 2017. Well, in fact, he's a 2-time captain. George Frazier joining us here. Going out and kind of giving back to the community. Why is that important?
I mean, it's always important to give back to the community because, I mean, we're just because of the fact that, I mean, we were them when we were younger. We were kids, so it's good to see people that coming from where you from to make it and just kind of hear from another person that's not an adult. I mean, like kind of as a college athlete in their eyes to hear about how good school is and things or just do things around the community.
And it's always amazing. You get back, and when you're as old as George is, you get back around those kids too. It kind of energizes you, doesn't it?
Definitely does, though. Definitely does.
Hey, speaking of energizing, Buffs had their spring game this past Saturday. Beautiful 80-degree day here in the Boulder area. What do you think you took away from spring ball and particularly that game?
I mean, spring ball, I feel like our team came a long way. I feel like from when we started in the beginning of the spring, I feel like a lot of guys stepped up and kind of showed what they can do. And I mean, I'm kind of excited to see where things go in the fall.
When you think about 2016, because it was such a spectacular season, 10 wins, Pac-12 South Championship, getting back to a bowl game, playing a Pac-12 title game, you guys have raised the bar a little bit now. There are expectations with this program.
Definitely have raised the bar. I mean, I feel like for us it's just another day, though. And I mean, we're starting back from the bottom, starting back working hard, trying to make sure everybody put their head down and don't think about last year's team because we're a new team and kind of show what we can do this year.
Does it change the way, maybe as a group, you guys approach things, though? Okay, we've been there. We've got titles. We've set a resume here, double-digit wins. Does it change the way you guys approach the way you work and go about your business?
I definitely feel it brings a new confidence to the room.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of everybody feels and kind of knows the fact that, I mean, we've done this before. It's like we're not new. We know what to expect. We know how to get there. So kind of brings definitely a new confidence.
How about I mentioned you being a 2-time captain now? That's some pretty good stuff there. You, Philip Lindsay, you've got Irwin, Derek McCartney, Aflami Laguda, Rick Gamboa. So that's a group of captains. What does that mean for you?
I mean, being a captain twice, it means a lot. It just shows that last year the team believes I'll be able to do what I can do again and help the team move forward and hopefully win more games than last year.
How do you think this team then goes into the offseason now? With Spring Bowl being this early, it's very early around the country. One of the first spring games, in fact, in the nation was right here in Colorado. How do you guys approach an offseason now, knowing what the expectations are?
I mean, I feel like it just kind of raised the bar for us. The expectations in the weight room and us as captains kind of force us to hold the bar higher for the rest of the team and force everybody to raise their level of gameplay and raise their level of what they can do on and off the field so we can reach high things this year.
You're obviously thought of as a leader on this team. Who do you think you learned leadership from?
Probably say my dad. Yeah, just growing up, he always put me in a position of leadership because he was always my coach often at the time when I was growing up as a kid. So I'll say I learned a lot from him. All right, we're going to ask you to put your analyst hat on. I'll be one of the leaders of this team. Tell me about what you see from this defense. You guys lose a lot of players, and the guys were great at the Combine and the Pro Day here at the IPF. What do you think about the defensive unit heading to 2017? I feel like our defensive unit will be real good. I feel like we just have to clean up things, of course, make sure everybody is confident in what they're doing and knowing where they're supposed to be, so everybody kind of gets a feel for each other. But I definitely can see our defense doing a lot of great things next year. You know, those guys in the secondary that you lost to potentially the National Football League, they had a little swagger to them, though. Can you guys replace that? I mean, I feel like swagger comes from everyone on the team. Everybody got their own style, a little stilo, so I definitely can see that. All right. Tell me about the offense now. A lot of guys coming back, but you lose, speaking of great leadership, Seth Olufau just walked through here a few minutes ago, right? So he's gone. Steven Montez looks like he's got a lot of ability, can be an exciting quarterback. You got a great receiving core. What do you think about the defensive side? I feel like our offense, I feel like they're going to be killer. I mean, Phil Lindsay's going to do his thing, and Michael Atkins, he's feeling good right now. And all the receivers, our O-line's coming back other than Alex Kelly. So, I mean, I see a lot of great things with the offense. Sky's the limit for them. Who's the most talkative guy on this team? Is it Phillip? He never stops talking, does he? He never stops talking. Yeah, you never hear him with a quiet moment. He's always has something to say about something. But is he a little bit like E.F. Hutton when he's talking, you better listen? Oh, I mean, definitely. Yeah. I mean, there are times we know he's just playing around, but whenever he stands up and actually wants to say something, everybody knows is going to listen to what he has to say. You know, spring ball's over. Now you start looking towards the season. Can you not wait until it gets here? I mean, I always love putting on pads. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to work hard all through the rest of this spring and through some workouts, but I can't wait till the season. I love hitting. You know, we've seen you play like 15 different positions. Where are we going to settle in 2017? We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I can't put a finger on anything. I want to play both, hopefully, but we'll see what happens. All right. George Frazier, one of the senior captains for the Colorado Buffaloes in 2016 or 17. Good luck this offseason. And thank you very much. Next year. All right. George and the Buffs wrapping up spring ball this past weekend as they get ready for the September 1st opener against Colorado State. We're going to take a time out here on the Stampede. Athletic Director Rick George is going to join us next. Welcome back to our final segment here on the Buffalo Stampede. Athletic Director Rick George joining us here at now the new indoor facility for women's lacrosse here at CU. How about that, the IPF? How about that this past week? It was amazing. You know, we came in here and we had to play indoors because of the conditions outdoor with the fire, and we had a huge crowd. The atmosphere was great. And we got to win. And now we're 9-0. We're ranked 4th in the country, and women's lacrosse continues to perform very well. Boy, they're doing a great job. But that's one thing. When you build this thing, you're thinking football, you're thinking track, cross country. You didn't know lacrosse was going to be played in here. Well, we didn't, but we knew that we could do it if we had to, and we just proved to ourselves that we could do it. So, it was a pretty exciting day, and for everybody just to be in there here in this atmosphere, and it gave people a look at our facility too for the first time. Yeah, it's been such a great year here for University of Colorado Athletics. Still a couple of months left before the school year is over. There's still plenty of action, obviously. As you sit here, though, what stands out to you? What do you think about from this 2016-17 season? Well, what stands out to me is I think our student athletes are performing incredibly well in the classroom and incredibly well on the playing surface. And you look at ski, we just brought home 4 national championships and individual championships with Petra and David. And then, Danny Jones wins 2 in the NCAAs in cross country, and so they're performing at a high level. We had our best finishes in the indoor national meet, NCAA meet for both men and women, and women's basketball still playing in the WNIT, and they play at Iowa on Thursday, and we're excited about that. Men's went to the postseason, men's basketball. So our golf team's ranked 16th in the country right now. Women's golf's performing well. So I think overall we're really having a great
year to this point.
You know, and I think sometimes from the public perception, we talk so much football and basketball, we get transfixed on that. You get a great appreciation for everything going on. You just ran down the litany of all the successes in the other sports as well, and that's sometimes that I think publicly it gets overlooked a little bit.
Well, it does, and I would say to people today that one of the best storage in college athletics, doesn't matter the sport, is our women's lacrosse team.
Yeah.
You know, we still got a lot of games to play, but here we are, we're 9-0, we're ranked 4th in the country in most polls, and we've only had a program. This is only our 4th year in having a lacrosse program. Building a national caliber program in 4 years is very hard to do with all freshmen when you come in 4 years ago.
From the ground up. In fact, we just had Carly Cox here on the show a little bit earlier. All right, we know what the athletes do during the off season. What does Rick George do during the off season?
There are no off seasons. There are no off seasons. You know, we play golf until into June and track into June, and you know, so maybe July you have a little time off, but we're also planning for the upcoming year. So there's a lot to do, and it's a lot of fun. We got great people to work with, and you know, the future's bright.
You know, there was just some interesting legislation that came down that affects college athletics here in the state, allowing institutions to have multiple multi-year contracts. Well, what does that mean from CU's perspective?
Well, I think, a couple things. One, it's great. It allows us to be able to compete against our peers around the country and in the conference. But, you know, we still have some work to do. We've still got to create a policy that we'll get in front of our regents, our chancellor, and our president for them to review. And so we've still got some time left on that piece of it. But once we get this done, it'll really help us retain and recruit coaches moving forward.
Because, and maybe people don't understand this, but it did kind of, from an administrative standpoint, kind of handcuff you a little bit, didn't it?
Well, it did, and because the campus was only allowed 6. Now the campus will have that 6, the chancellor will, to be able to utilize in whatever way that he feels best for faculty and staff, which I think is another great part of this bill.
Well, what's next? I mean, you've done so many great things here with facilities and all these different aspects of the program. What's the next thing you got focused on?
Well, we want to win championships in everything that we do, whether it's in the community, whether it's on the playing surface, in the classroom. We want to win championships, and we'll continue to push each other to do that.
Hey, before we let you go, we just wrapped up spring ball, coming off a great 2016 college football season for the Buffaloes, and I know you're really focused right now on getting that season ticket number up for next season.
Yeah, we are, and our staff's done a great job. We're a couple thousand tickets ahead of where we were this time last year, and we still have some that haven't renewed, but we're pushing them. But you know, our new sales and our renewals are going extremely well. We'll anticipate much bigger crowds going into the 2017 football season, and I think it's going to be a real exciting season for us.
All right, that's Rick George, University of Colorado Athletic Director. It's been a great year for the Buffaloes through 2016 to 17, and still a couple of months of outstanding spring programs as well. As we wrap up the Buffalo Stampede, again, I'm Mark Johnson. We'll talk to you next time.